Hey everyone, it's Jessie. For a while now, I've been trying to figure out what can I make for a really good friend of mine. Well, she reached out and actually asked if I could make a throw blanket for her, so I thought that is perfect. So she sent me some pictures with some yarns that had colors that she really loved. One of them that she showed me was Burnett Handicrafter Cotton Stripes, and it was in the color Country Stripes. I will share a picture here so you can see that. I also thought the colors were so beautiful, but I knew it was a fine cotton yarn, and I'd never used that cotton yarn before. Maybe it's soft, I'm not sure. I know sometimes it's hard to find a cotton yarn that is soft. And I also knew that there wasn't a lot of yardage, so it would take quite a bit of those to make a nice throw size blanket. So I had decided to go with I Love This Yarn. After looking at different yarns, I thought I Love This Yarn would be perfect because there are so many different colors. And a 4 weight is a nice size weight to make a blanket. So what I did was I took a picture of the yarn with the colors that she loved and went to Hobby Lobby and went through the I Love This Yarn aisle and tried to get colors that would match up really well with the colors that were in that yarn. And I did get a little bit of help with ChatGPT. I had asked it what it thought would be the closest colors to match. And of course I wanted to see the colors in person because AI is not always correct. But it did really well. One of the colors I think they were out of, so actually a couple of them, but I just picked colors that were similar or very close. So it's very exciting. I wanted to come home, do a quick video, show you all the yarn before starting a blanket, before picking out a pattern. However, I wasn't feeling the best to do all the recording I wanted to for this video, which is okay, but I started the blanket. But before we go over the blanket, I'll just show you the yarn that I got, the colors that I got for this blanket. Okay, so the first one, I Love This Yarn. And this is the color Turquoise. Now, all of the I Love This Yarn is 355 yards, 100% acrylic. And it's definitely a soft yarn. I think it's perfect for a blanket. And of course, a 4 medium weight. Such a pretty color. The next one that I have here is in the color Spa. That is also a pretty nice color. Then we have the color Sea Blue. Now I've used, again, some of this yarn, so it's not all there right now, but Sea Blue, very pretty. Now each one of those I got 2 skeins of, and these other 2 I'm going to show you, I only got 1 skein of each of those because so the other colors seem to be more in the colorway that she likes, and these 2 didn't seem to be as much of, if that makes sense. But overall, I think I might have gotten too much yarn. I'm not sure. We'll see. But this next one, I don't know if you can tell, it is a lighter, brighter green. I know it doesn't look like you can see that much green in it, but there is some green in there, and it is, I don't think I'm going to try to pronounce this word because I always say it wrong, and then it sounds like I'm saying something else that doesn't sound too good. So what I'm going to do is bring that up to the screen so you can see it. And the next color we have is Stonewash. Such a beautiful blue. I'd have to say, oh, I don't know, I love them all, but this is one of my favorites. Same with the turquoise. Very pretty. Now, all these colors together are gorgeous. I am going to insert a picture where you can see where I had laid out the colors next to each other. Very pretty. Now, when it comes to the patterns, I had a tough time trying to decide what kind of blanket do I want to make, and do I just want to pick a beautiful crochet stitch and figure out my own measurements and make a throw blanket, or do I want to find a pattern I really love and just follow along? it was kind of this back and forth thing. And then I was scrolling on YouTube and I saw, it was either YouTube or Facebook, and I saw the Snuggle Season Blanket by MJ's Off the Hook Designs. I will insert a picture here so you can see it. So I decided to make just a little swatch of that blanket to see if I would like that. Now it's a beautiful pattern, but with this yarn, a 4-weight, as I was crocheting, it was really hard on my hands. Now I have pain in my hands to begin with, but as I was crocheting, it was like, this isn't quite working out for me. As much as I love this pattern, I'm just not going to be able to do that with this yarn. I am definitely going to try that at another time with maybe a 3-weight yarn. I think a 3-weight yarn would probably be perfect, and I think that's what MJ uses. Don't quote me on that. So that would probably be easier on my hands. And then there was another blanket that I've been eyeing up for a while. It's the wheat stitch blanket that Brianna K made, and I'll put a picture here for you. And actually, so my swatch of MJ's blanket, I took out. I should have kept it so I could show you. However, I have my swatch from the wheat stitch blanket. I just wanted to show you that. Very beautiful. I have to say, I love this. I love this stitch. And I've noticed so many people making so many of Brianna K's patterns with this stitch. Is so amazing. It's just gorgeous. But I noticed this makes a much thicker blanket and stretchy, and I love it. However, as I put more thought into it, I thought, I'm not sure if I would have enough yarn, because this stitch, as beautiful as it is definitely a yarn eater. So you need quite a bit of yarn for this. And I was a little nervous that I'd run out of yarn. And of course, I had more of a chat with ChatGPT that I know AI is not always correct, that said I could possibly make it work, but it would be cutting it close. So I didn't want to have that kind of stress while making the blanket and feeling like, oh my gosh, the whole time, am I going to have enough yarn? So I decided I'm not going to do that right now. And I also decided definitely I want to make this blanket at one point too. And probably also with a 3-weight yarn, because I just find it would make it more drapey, which would be really nice. However, it still works up great with this 4-weight yarn. And surprisingly, this one was not hard on my hands at all, like the other blanket was. So then I was trying to think, what would be a fun blanket to do with 5 different colors? So then I remembered a blanket that I had made quite a few years ago when I first started crocheting. And it was a blanket by Melanie Ham, a ripple blanket. And some of you may remember Melanie Ham. Unfortunately, she passed away quite a few years ago. And she was such a great inspiration to me. She is one of the first channels I started watching when I started crocheting. And she taught me quite a bit. I have to say, I definitely miss seeing Melanie. So I thought, what a great blanket to make, and I'll show a picture on the screen here. I think it's going to be the perfect blanket for me to make for my friend. It's going to showcase the colors beautifully. And let me show you actually what I have made so far, because yes, I did start it already, and it's gorgeous, very gorgeous. And the colors, oh my goodness. I actually love all the colors together. I was a little nervous because I wasn't sure if it was going to work out, but I think it is. So that's as far as I've gotten. I absolutely love it. These colors together I find are so pretty. And Melanie, I love how Melanie did this, where the first row of every color, now this is all using double crochets, but the first row of every color, you go into the back loop only, which gives it this wonderful ridge. Let's see if you can see that. It's kind of hard to see, but there's a little ridge where every color starts, every new color. And I love that. It gives it a little bit of texture. I think Melanie used 4 different colors and I'm using 5. And the size blanket I'm making is different than what she's making. I forget what size hers was, but I'm trying to make mine about 50 inches by 60 inches. And I tell you, when I had to start this over a few times because I had it way too wide. I tried so hard to do the chains, measure it out. It was around 50 inches. So I thought, oh, that'll work. And I started crocheting up some rows and it was way too wide. It ended up being like 57 inches. I'm like, okay, that's way too much. So I went down. I think I did 147 stitches. It's very possible it still got past 50 inches, but at this point I'm not going to worry about it. It is what it is. It still seems like a nice width when I put it on my lap because I like, you know, having a little bit of extra on the sides, and I think it's going to work. And I'm also not picky with how it's going to work, like how long. I want it to be around 60 inches, but if it's longer than that or a little shorter, I think it'll be just fine. So I used ChatGPT also to kind of help me get an idea of how many repeats of these colors I would need to get the blanket about 60 inches long. Now, hopefully it's accurate. I had crocheted about 6 rows or so and given it the measurement of that to see how long it was. So it kind of went off that and gave me an idea. So we'll see if it's correct. I don't know. It had told me I'll need about 5 repeats of these colors. So from this color down to this light green, 5 repeats of those, and then I want to end on the sea blue color, so then 1 row of that. So we'll see how that works up. I don't think I'm going to do a border on this. Melanie did not, and the edges seem pretty straight, pretty nice. And I think it looks so nice like this. However, I know if I did the sea blue on all the way around, it would also look nice. But I don't know. I love it without the border. So we'll see what happens. And I'll kind of bring you along a little bit on this journey and give you updates and show you the final product too. Hey guys, it is weeks later. I've gotten a little over halfway done with the blanket. I probably would have had it done by now, but health-wise, it's not always easy for me. I've had some days where I'm not able to work on it at all. However, it is turning out beautifully. A few nights ago, I was working on the blanket and realized I ran out of the, I think it's the Stonewash blue and then one of the other colors. So I had to run to Hobby Lobby today and pick out those two colors so I could finish the blanket. And for the Stonewash blue, I literally only needed one more row to finish it, and I didn't have enough yarn. So I also looked through my stash to see if I could find anything that would match it or work, or if I even had the same yarn in my stash already, but I did not. But that's okay. So I got the yarn today, so I'm excited that I can work on it some more tonight. I am going to turn the camera around so I can show you what I've done so far and how it's working out. And it looks like my little kitty's trying to get into my bag right now. Mittens, what are you doing? She loves the bags. How funny. Okay, so these are the two colors that I ran out of because I had gotten 2 skeins for every color of all the other colors except for these 2, and I should have just got 2 of everything. This is the one, or one of them, and here is the other one, Stonewash, I believe. So I got those, and then of course while I was there at Hobby Lobby, I decided to get a couple skeins of I Love This Cotton because I have a pretty popular washcloth tutorial on my channel that everybody seems to love. And I had a request to make a hand towel, a matching hand towel. So I figured I will get this. And if you haven't seen that tutorial, I can link it if you'd like to check it out. But I'm gonna try and make a hand towel tutorial. Hopefully that yarn works out well. Okay, so here is the blanket so far. I absolutely love those colors. I find it is so gorgeous. I really hope she's gonna love it. I really think she will. I hope so. Let me just kind of show you where I left off here. So here's where I left off. And I'm doing kind of 4 rows of every color. So I got 3 rows here, and then I ran out of yarn. But I am so excited that I have it now. So tonight I get to watch some shows or movies and crochet and relax while I'm making this beautiful blanket. It's now weeks later and I've finally finished the blanket and I absolutely love it. I keep telling myself that one of these days I'm going to have to make myself one of these. That's how much I love it. I'm going to try and show it to you. It might be hard to show it all on camera, but I'm also going to take a photo and show that to you too. Yeah, definitely hard to get it in the camera, but look at those rows, those colors. Oh, it's beautiful. So if you remember previously, I talked about how I used AI to help me figure out how many like repeats I would need in the blanket. And it told me, I think it was 5 repeats. It was pretty close. Well, sort of. I ended up doing like 4 repeats of the colors and then 2 more rows. And instead of ending on the sea, what is that, sea blue? Whatever color that was that I started with, I decided to end on a turquoise right here. I just really liked how that looked. It just makes it look like the colors just keep on going. So the blanket ended up being about 50 inches wide. It's about 64, 65 inches long, which isn't bad. I mean, it's definitely a nice throw size, comfy, cozy. So if you were laying on the couch or something and wanted it to be really long to cover your feet, it might be a little long if you're just sitting on the couch, but that's okay. I think she'll still love it. I did not do a border. I just don't think it needs it. I think it's so pretty just how it is, and the edges are pretty straight. I am definitely excited to be able to send this blanket to my friend. I hope she will be able to enjoy it for years to come. If you love blankets and you know how to do a double crochet and looking for a project that you don't have to put too much thought into it, but it's very relaxing and enjoyable, I would definitely recommend this blanket. I'm going to put Melanie Ham's tutorial in the description below, and I'll also list out the yarn colors that I used if you enjoy these colors. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.